A fire breaks out at a house in Joplin, killing one person who was inside at the time.
Action 12's Dustin Lattimer live for us tonight at 3rd and St. Louis with the latest details. Dustin?
Yeah, Lauren, Brian, shortly after 2 o'clock this afternoon, fire crews were called to an apartment fire. It was a 4-unit apartment right here at 112 South St. Louis Street at the corner of 2nd and St. Louis. Lauren, many area businesses closed early this afternoon while sleet and freezing rain covered area roadways. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dustin Lattimer. Joplin police are forced to use their weapons when a man points a handgun in their direction. The situation started around 11:30 last night. Police received a 911 call about a suicidal man with a gun. Police are asking for your help in finding out who stole 3 vehicles from an area school before destroying them.
Action 12's Dustin Lattimer joins us live from the airport where Huckabee just finished speaking to a crowd of about hundreds. Dustin, what did the former governor talk about?
Yeah, guys, he finished just about 30 minutes ago and had several topics to talk about. There were 2 main topics that stuck in my mind. One was that Missouri is really important in tomorrow's election. The recent polls that just came out today have Missouri in a dead heat, and also Southwest Missouri is going to be important. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dustin Lattimer. Heavy rains are plaguing area roadways, causing one accident after another. Interstate 44 was no exception. Between mile marker 15 and 30, more than 4 accidents were reported.
What were some of Holzhoff's main talking points?
Well, Lauren, Republican Congressman Kenny Holzhoff spoke mainly to a crowd of farmers at the Joplin Regional Stockyards. When deadly tornadoes struck Oklahoma and Missouri in May, Red Cross volunteers were on the scene to help provide immediate assistance to victims. All right, thanks, Dan. One of the most popular Valentine's Day gifts were flying off the shelves at an area candy store. Over the last couple of days, Richardson's Candy House in Reddings Mill saw hundreds of people buying chocolates and sweets for their loved ones. One of the most popular candy items is the chocolate-covered strawberry, and it is delicious.
Dustin, are you still practicing?
Yeah, Lauren, I've been practicing all afternoon, so I'm ready to jump in here and sing with these guys. They just got started a few minutes ago. It's the first annual Carol Sing here at the First United Methodist Church in Joplin. Now, you had told me earlier a story about why you decided to do this caroling activity here tonight. Kind of talk about that story real quick.
We're talking about the annual Flavor of the 4 States, and that's where we find Action 12's Dustin Lattimer chowing down, right, Dustin?
That's right, guys. Found some pulled pork from Dusty's Barbecue. We're going to talk to them coming up after the break and find out why they decided to display their business at Flavor of the 4 States. That story up next.
But they wanted to get people of the 4 states a chance to see what they're all about. So.
Yeah, you guys are actually located as you go into Briarbrook and Carl Junction, but I know you guys had to pay a fee to get in here. In the end, do you think it'll be worth it for your business?
Absolutely.
And here with me now is Linda Teeter. She is the event coordinator for Flavor of the 4 States. I got to ask one question. What is up with the costume?
Well, this is Mardi Gras.
Tonight we begin a 2-part series called Journey Through the Subconscious Mind. Action 12's Dustin Lattimer joins us now live with part 1 of his series. Dustin?
Well, Lauren, Brian, hypnotists say their line of work takes place in the subconscious mind. Now, that's an area of the brain where thinking and brain activity goes beyond conscious awareness. In part 1 of my series, I'm taking you to Pittsburgh State University, where hypnotist Michael C. Anthony leads volunteers at one of his shows through a wild but funny ride.
Your best step, you need to focus on me. Forget about what's happening there, forget about what's happening.
Hypnotist Michael C. Anthony is about to have some fun with these volunteers at Pittsburgh State University.
Anybody can be hypnotized. The way to do it is you just talk to them in such a way that the conscious mind sort of goes on a vacation. They start to process all the information subconsciously. And when the subconscious mind hears a command, because it doesn't judge it, it will generally accept it as a truth. Now, start to apply some pressure. Really stare at your hands, focus on them.
You just concentrated just on him, and he told you pretty much everything exact to a point. Just kept talking, through everything, and, you just started feeling really tired and just laid back.
Back to your knees, slowly begin to unlock.
I remember lots of stuff, and I remember thinking, especially on the word ouch. He said, when he said the word ouch, that we would feel like someone pinched us on the butt. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, he's going to say the word ouch, and I'm going to be the only one that doesn't move because nothing's going to happen. And he even spelled it out and everything, and he was like, ouch, and I jumped like 6 feet. And I don't know what that was about. And then I kept looking at the guy next to me, and I was like, I know you didn't just pinch me, but you're creeping me out, and I need to move.
Anthony says his line of work is not harmful to the volunteers. He claims that each person on stage will only stay hypnotized for a short amount of time, unless he snaps them out of it sooner.
Wide awake on 3 now. Hey everybody, I thought I asked you a minute ago to get back in your positions, please. Because it's just like a dream. I put a person in a state that's very similar to a dream, and all you're doing is using your imagination. You're getting it all over your shirt. Can't do it. Okay.
I completely missed my mouth with some water. I tried it. Completely missed.
At the end of the show, Anthony tells each volunteer that they will remember everything he made them do the moment they step onto the floor.
Embarrassing at the end. I didn't really know what was going on until right there.
I was doing some stupid stuff, apparently.
It amazes me how he did that, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's going to do it for the weekend edition of Action 12 News. Have a good night.
No, it isn't leaking down there. You have no right to even be down there. We had a guy come out and fix it, so get the hell off our property.
This is where we left off last night. Landlords Charles and Carolyn Torres showed up during our interview with tenant Chris Shaner, who says the pipes in his basement are still leaking despite someone coming to the apartment to fix the problem. Our cameras showed that he was right. In order to show us the leak in the pipes, Chris removed the boards blocking the basement window. His landlord, Charles Torres, accused Chris of destroying their property.
See how you're acting on camera? Oh, I can act any way I want. All I'm saying is I'm asking her to get off her property. We got someone saying you opened up that little panel that's supposed to be closed in the basement. So therefore, it's destruction of property.
We pulled the basement covers off. If that's damage to property that's already so rotten they don't even mow the lawns, what are they going to care about a basement cover?
After Chris's landlords closed up the basement windows and left, we attempted to contact them 3 separate times for a comment on the allegations. We received a call back from Carolyn Torres, who issued this statement, quote, "Anyone who knows them, Carolyn and her husband Charles, knows the allegations are not true. It's coming straight from the mouth of a lunatic," end quote. Chris says there's no reason for the name-calling, and the allegations of leaky sewer pipes and raw sewage accumulating in the basement are true.
If I had not paid rent, I could see them to have some grounds for that. But to complain about the sewage being broke is not an illegitimate complaint.
Chris Shaner is now packing up his things thanks to an eviction notice. The notice comes just one day after Chris wrote his landlords a letter terminating all conversation because the problem in his basement, Chris says, was not properly addressed.
We had multiple phone conversations with them about that. I wrote them a letter, and directly after the letter was a 30-day eviction notice, which is obviously coincidental.
Chris says in his 10 years at 528 Moffett, not once was he late on the rent. More attempts on our part to contact the landlords for comment were unsuccessful. Chris says he wants the next tenant to know the problems he's struggled with in the last year.
They should be confronting the problem as something broke, let's fix it, instead of finding any way they can to make someone else's life more difficult.
For Action 12 News, I'm Dustin Lattimer.
Oh, there it is.
Brothers Keegan and Christian Pittman are airsoft enthusiasts, gathering with friends on the weekend to play war.
It's really fun and it's not that expensive, and obviously it's for the rush, and you get to shoot people, but it really won't injure them that bad.
You get the feeling it's a real weapon, but it's harmless.
The weight, the look, the size, everything about most airsoft guns looks like the real deal. The only way to tell the toys apart from the deadly handgun is the orange tip on the end, which some kids, not including the Pittmans, are removing.
If you're not too close to it, it looks like real metal, and it just looks like a real gun.
This handgun is real, but this one is considered a toy. When compared side to side, they both look identical, and it's hard to tell them apart.
It's very easily removed, and a lot of kids will do that because they state that when they're going out and they're fighting in the woods or whatever the case may be, that red symbolism on there gives away their position.
Sergeant John Wales says removing the colored barrel piece makes it hard for officers to decide what's deadly and what's not.
Anytime that a law enforcement official approaches them or an adult approaches them and goes to talk to them, they really need to lay it down. Just for the mere fact that they don't know who is coming up and contacting them, and they don't want to be mistaken for a real weapon.
Because boys will be boys, Sergeant Wales says parents need to lay down some ground rules, something that the Pittmans have already done.
Of course, when we purchased them for them, we set them down and told them about the safety. We had to wear the goggles and a cap, probably long sleeve T-shirt, and just some other safety factors that were involved in that also.
The boys are now putting the lecture into practice each time they step onto the makeshift battlefield.
I never play without eye protection, and neither does anybody else.
For Action 12 News, I'm Dustin Lattimer.